So China is ruled by Satan, and all the other kingdoms, all the other nations, all the other polities also are, including wherever you are. The stars and flags of nations represent fallen angels. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So the stars represent fallen angels, and the red stripes on the USAID's flag represent rivers of blood. Paramount Pictures has in its logo fallen angels gathering on the Tower of Babel. Masons are constructing the new and the final Tower of Babel, because they are trying to conquer heaven under the leadership of the fallen angels, whose dream is to conquer heaven, although they will fail. God knows their plans before they even exist. You can't surprise God. You can't beat him. China's flag resembles a Muslim's of the crescent and more, because all countries are controlled by the same occultists. That's why Catholics, Muslims, communists, etc. use the same symbols, the same satanic occult symbols, or occultist symbols. The China flag has a crescent implied, just like the Muslim flags. The pirate flag has an implied Templar cross. And so does the Vatican flag. The Pope uses the Templar cross. Now, as I covered in my series, the British Empire was not the biggest. Templars controlled Europe before it conquered the world, and thereby Templars conquered the world. And they are led by satanic Jews. And their goal is the New World Order of everyone united in under the same government, which will be headed by the Antichrist eventually. A French king burned Templars. This is the tarot card Death. You see the Roman numeral 13 for Friday the 13th, when the king killed the satanic homosexual Templars. You see the Pope beg for mercy on this tarot card. You see the French king dead. So the Templars got their revenge. Pauperes comilitiones Christi templique Salomonici hierosolumitanis. Poor fellow soldiers of Christ, supposedly, in the Temple of Solomon. Solomon was not always a man of God. He eventually succumbed to the temptation of appeasing his pagan harem, worshipping their idols, their gods, their devils. Now these Templars claimed to be poor, but they were filthy, stinking rich. They were hypocrites. They were rich by banking and pilgrim protection for the heretics who would go to the Holy Land. Templars were rich enough for many horses each, yet chose to share in a sodomite position, one man rubbing on another. The French king had accused them of devil worship and sodomy. Their Templar cross of 8 points is a reference to the star of Ishtar of 8 rays, Ishtar of Babylon, the land of the Tower of Babel, when mankind united to conquer heaven. All the pieces fit. Therefore, the Templars' goal was the unification of the world under Satan. This they would achieve when Europe would conquer the world, for Templars had conquered Europe first, as already said, and transformed into Masons who build a new world order. Novus Ordo Seclorum. The ships of Columbus display the Templar cross according to pretty much every illustration of these ships. Columbus worshipped Satan. He did implied devil horns. When Europe conquered, all Templars did, and they are now Masons. There are 33 sections in the UN logo. There are 33 degrees in so-called Freemasonry. Notice also the Star of Ishtar pattern of 8 rays referring to the Tower of Babel, and the goal of which is to usurp God, to take over his throne, to take over heaven. And heaven is not in the physical heavens. Heaven is in the spiritual dimension paralleling the physical, something atheists don't understand with their Strawman fallacy of Sky Daddy, Sky God. No, he's not a sky dad. He's not a sky god. That's a misrepresentation of the Bible. You don't know anything, atheists. You liars, you snakes. Male Osiris penis piece, Antichrist symbol to cast its shadow on the female Isis symbol. The dome is like a tit of a woman, and the phallic obelisk is a penis symbolically. So penis in front of a tit, man with woman together. And it has a lot of occult symbolism. In Washington, D.C., not just in the Vatican, you have this. And in other places also. They don't call it the Oval Office for nothing, because oval refers to egg for a woman. Ovaries, ovum, egg, Oval Office. So the Baphomet statue, idol, in Washington, D.C., with a boy and a girl means male and female on either side of his penis, because he wants them to suck it, because that's how disgusting the United States is, that it would allow this shit. Back to heretic headquarters, Roma. Count the rays. There are 8. That's the Star of Ishtar implied, ergo Tower of Babel implied. Oh, would you look at that? It's the Tower of Babel symbol on a church of Satan. Heretics. Unholy Trinity symbol with the doors. There's another Tower of Babel symbol. Everything happens for a reason. Oh, look at this global atheist convention with a Tower of Babel symbol, because you guys are run by devil worshippers. You're pathetic blind pawns. You're ridiculous statistics. Haha. Atheists are just tools of devil worshippers who run this joint. Maybe these pretend to be atheists. Dawkins and the other guy. Masonic symbols, Masonic agents likely. And also the red and blue is a Masonic symbol, as I plan to get to. Jehovah's Witnesses Conference Hall in Denmark has this Masonic symbol of the one eye, which refers to, well, you'll see if you don't already know. Here's the Tower of Babel and the US dollar bill implied, and there's a symbol of the Antichrist. Now, the Pyramid of Egypt, let me talk about this. The pyramid in Egypt, the pyramids, and in Nubia, and in Mesoamerica, and in Canarias, the Canary Islands, and in China, and off of Japan in the sea, I think they have some in Ryukyu, or Bayit, and in Indonesia, and in India, and the implied Tower of Babel of the hats of the Kamai, etc., whatever I missed. These pyramids are all mankind's distorted memories of the time when mankind was united at Babel in Mesopotamia. So Egypt did not have the first pyramids. The first pyramid structures were in Babylon, or now Iraq, of course, Iraq. The one eye represents the Antichrist according to Zechariah 11:17. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock, the sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye, his arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. So the shepherd is a leader of Israel who is idle. So the false shepherd, the false Messiah, the Antichrist, will abandon the Jews, and he shall lose his right eye. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And here are the blind, with a symbol of the one-eyed, who is Satan, who is the serpent. So you have 2 serpents entwined. What does this mean? What could that mean? Here's the Ethiopian heretic church guy holding a satanic staff. It's pretty obvious that this is of the devil. God never told you to use symbols of Satan for the religion of Jesus. Snakes have sex when they're entwined. Look at the snakes entwined on the phallus of Baphomet, Satan, the goat man here. Stupid heretics use this symbol. Your church is of the devil. Catholics are of the devil. Nominal Orthodox are of the devil. You are mainstream sewage. Repent or burn forever. I think a Spaniard, a Visigoth Spaniard, drew this. I think his name was El Greco. No, actually he was Greek, if he was El Greco. Or was it someone else? I think it was El Greco, so he was Greek, not Spanish. But probably a Slavic Greek, a fake Greek. Anyway, red for male, fire, passion, dominance. Blue for female, water, passivity, usually. Water isn't always passive, but usually is. Moon and sun, male and female, etc. Opposites united. So that represents a balance, which represents perfection, which represents the perfect being, which the Antichrist will appear to be to the world. That's why it's a symbol for Satan, for the Antichrist. So he is male but has long hair. Male and female combined, androgyny, like Michael Jackson portrayed himself as being, and others like him. And that's unbiblical. Jesus did not have long hair. Together, you have androgynous Baphomet. Male and female together. Baphomet has a woman's breasts, but also a phallus. So male and female together. We have a match, the Antichrist. And also, as above, so below, or in this case, as below, so above. Because the fallen angels want to conquer heaven. They rule below, they want above as well. And you have implied devil horns. And the cross is also satanic, as I plan to cover. Leonardo da Vinci painted this, and he liked to use mirrors for hidden images. So when you mirror this image, you get Satan, a kind of demonic figure. Da Vinci worshipped Satan, and he was a sodomite. He drew a man on a man. This is not one man, this is two men together. This is disgusting. Red and blue is a motif for Antichrist symbols, as has already been covered. So Mario represents Satan. Oh, but he's so innocent. Oh, but Japan is Shinto. They don't have biblical imagery. Actually, the Masons, as I already proved, conquered the world. And Masons conquered Japan because the United States conquered Japan. It gave it a lot of freedom to be perverse as it is, but it's still conquered by Masons. Masons include all races and places. M is the 13th letter for Friday the 13th. Recall that in this video, I think it was in this video where I covered that. In Super Mario 64 you have the Star of Ishtar, 8 rays. Now Mario seeks the star, which represents a fallen angel, to get power, which is why the US military and others used this pentagram to represent the army or whatever, because it represents power. All of the pieces fit. So that implied message is that you should sell your soul to get power from Satan. And here you have layer upon layer of satanic symbolism, like the dragon, the turtle dragon here. Now the star on Antichrist, anti-Christmas trees represents Satan, of course. This has already been covered. On the Tower of Babel, that tree is similar to a pyramid. Mindless people lay gifts at his feet. That symbolizes devil worship. The world is being prepared for accepting his manifestation. The ribbon around the tree is serpentine, because it represents the serpent on the tree in the Garden of Eden. The balls on the tree represent the forbidden fruit. Christmas is a celebration of when mankind stole from God. Ho 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 means 666, because there are 6 letters between H and O in this language, 3 times. Santa, 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 Satan, Santa, Santa. Same thing. Satan Claus enters your home from the hellish fireplace. To be continued.